All right. Hello and welcome to ElseNerds, a production of Galactic Network. I'm Gregor Sprague.
And I'm Corey Scott, very evil, not twin.
For all info on this show, including show notes and subscription links, go to ElseNerds.com. And for other Galactic Network programs, go to gncasts.com.
On ElseNerds, we tend to swear our mouths off without thinking, so we will both spoil things and we will swear liberally.
Yes, so you have been warned, motherfucker. So, as you can tell by Beat's accent and the fact that I'm calling him Beat and not Corey is not here. Corey's got, situations going on to where he could be, out and about, at a moment's notice. So we're just like, hey, you stay home, relax, take care of the family and all that stuff that you got to do. Me and Beat, we got this. Sort of.
Yes. We will make it so bad that you will enjoy Corey's return even more so.
Yes. You guys will be like, forget Tom Merritt. Oh, I hear him all the time. I'm glad Corey's back. By the way, Tom Merritt will be on next week as well.
Yes.
So, yeah. Did I ask you how you been?
Oh, you didn't have to, but yeah. No, I'm doing okay at my birthday on Sunday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much, sir. And wanted to spend more time with the family. My mother was sick, so we couldn't do that. Went out with a friend and did some nice lunch out. It's as it should be, quite an uneventful birthday, not being out there and causing trouble.
B, I have to do this and compare you a little bit to Jesus, because you're the only person that I know that had a birthday and gave me something, because you gave me that game. And I'm like, wait, it just dawned on me, like, wait, is Beat Jesus?
Wait, now I get so much people asking me for cookies. Yeah.
And on that sacrilegious note, we should probably quickly get into the news before I'm smoted down by God himself. With the ElseNerds ElseNews of the week. The first bit of news is that Ben Affleck is no longer directing the Batman solo film. He's said in a statement, there are certain characters who hold a special place in the heart of millions. Performing this role demands focus, passion, and the very best performance I can give. It has become clear that I cannot do both jobs, directing and acting, to the level they require. Together with the studio, I have decided to find a partner and a director who will collaborate with me on this massive film. I am still in this, and we are making it, but we are currently looking for a director. I remain extremely committed to this project and look forward to bringing this to life for fans around the world. And with this, I've seen a lot of blog posts that piss me off. I've seen blog posts saying, could Zack Snyder come to? I'm like, no, fuck you, no, he is not coming to this. I think Beat just threw up a little bit. No. He I've heard rumors or people posting blogs, the typical clickbait ones of, could Ben Affleck be leaving as actor too? And it's like, he just said in the quote, you dumbass, that he wants to give one of the best performances as Batman, and he can't do that if he's directing himself and all that. And I should also state that Kevin Smith has already taken his name out of the race. He's the only person I know to take his name out of a race like that. Usually it's like, I'd be willing to do it, sure. I mean, I've directed him in Mallrats. Mallrats, Dogma. I mean, I could do it. And I'm a big Batman fan.
Chasing Amy, damn it. That's what's
and
the
Chasing
best
Amy,
role.
sorry. Yeah.
Arguably, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's interesting because a lot of people, I think even a lot of people went like hyper doom and gloom of, is the Batman movie like dead in the water? Because there's no release date. Ben Affleck has said that they've been wanting to, he wants to do it right and all that. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, I give him credit, because where I would love to have seen, a Ben Affleck directed Batman movie, if he thinks his performance is going to suffer because of that, get someone in here right fucking now.
It sounds like politics to me, or diplomacy on his side, because he's classic dude, and do not piss off people upstairs and elsewhere, because
Yep.
I think that it's on the plate for him to really drop it, because he said before a while ago, it's certain he will direct and whatever, and he directed himself in Argo and won a fucking Oscar for it.
Yeah.
So I don't buy that as well, but it depends so much on what the Wonder Woman movie will do. I think it's that and Justice League.
Time with that, sorry, with the him directing himself in Argo and winning an Oscar, and Run All Night, and I think there's another one that he directed that he was also in.
Life by Night.
Yeah, Live by Night. That's what it is. I don't think there's as big of a moment that he's talking about with stepping down because he wants to give his best performance. He gave great performances in those other movies, but this is a character he grew up watching and reading and just living.
What's the best part of Batman vs Superman? There were many flaws in it. Ben Affleck wasn't it. He did the best thing in the whole movie, and applaud him for that. But it's not a high bar to set. But yeah, but applaud him as Batman. That's what.
And he didn't direct it, so he was able to give 100%. I'm going to go so far out on a limb to say he's the best Bruce Wayne and Batman that we've had.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Because here's why. Because you've had other Batman or other actors who were a better Batman or a better Bruce Wayne. Not both.
Michael Keaton, fuck you. And many will argue as much as me, because he was the outsider. And the funny thing about the internet, as we recall, 3 years ago, the internet went ablaze when they announced Ben Affleck as the Batman. And then I stood by him. I knew he can deliver it, because Daredevil was a terrible movie, but as well, he had the stamina, he had the presence of a superhero. He can deliver that I have seen. And render games as well. Oh wait, but his main thing was that he had the chin that works through the mask, and all is well. And is he enough willingly to go through it, even when he doesn't feel like it? Because when somebody else comes in and he has to be like a co-pilot in the whole thing, that will create more creative differences. So is it really a better sign to get somebody else to direct him? He knows himself best.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, I know, like, and I'm not no, hotshot actor, writer, director type, but at the same time, I tend to focus in on one thing. You'll catch me doing that here, where I'm reading the art, like either the next article, where, or I'm trying to find a thing in the article for the current story, and I'm not paying attention. Partially that's because I know Corey can just carry on with himself, but it's also because I'm trying to keep the ball rolling. Let's keep this going, and then I'll come in and I'll be like, wait, I had a point. Oh, what the fuck was my point? And stuff like that.
He tells me while I'm here at 3:30 a.m. I try my best, people. So be kind.
Yeah. No, yeah. And so it's, I could see, like, if he's excuse me, if he's thinking, that not necessarily that his performance could suffer, but that his directing could suffer. You didn't even think about that. I see the look. You didn't even think about that.
No, I was thinking about Live by Night because it was mentioned in an article in some places that it was a third financially. I don't know. I didn't see it. I can't speak for the content, but that's the one thing he was worried about, being typecast, or what's. Well, I didn't get a connection there that was made in some articles, that because one of his own films flop, he feels the need to step out of place. That feels.
It could be a little bit panicky, because you get Argo. It's a period piece. It's only 30 years ago, but still, that's back in time.
Okay.
And then Live by Night, he was that's during, I think, Prohibition in America. And so I think that could have been what he was meaning by being typecast, with his directing stuff.
Oh, the typecasting part was on my side. I didn't read that, but yeah, you had a point there, of course.
No, yeah, it's, I don't know, it's interesting. I will be curious to see who it is. I know it's not going to be Zack Snyder, because he's already working on Justice League, and I mean, let's have him ruin all the other characters. Let's not have him ruin Batman.
Somebody that's hot currently at Warner Brothers could be Villeneuve, that does the Blade Runner sequel right now, and is planning to do the Dune reboot or whatever it will be. So I could imagine him having a vision and being different, and having already a working relationship with Warner Brothers. So that's one name that comes to my mind. That would be like Josh Trank, but hopefully in a better results than
hopefully not a whiny little bitch baby.
Well, he had a reason to. He was stupid to do it in a way he did, but I feel inclined to trust his words over the ones of the studio.
Yeah. I'll leave the article, or leave the story with this. I wouldn't be surprised when we get the announcement that it's being released, if we hear or see, Ben Affleck credited as like a second director or something like that. Like where he directed some scenes, but not the whole thing, and all that. But yeah, so the next story, keeping with our superhero themes for the news segments, is Marvel's Cloak and Dagger TV series casts Cloak and Dagger. Marvel Studios has finally introduced the latest small screen heroes for the show. This is Freeform's Cloak and Dagger. So it was ABC Family, now it's Freeform. They have just cast Aubrey Joseph and Olivia Holt to play Cloak and Dagger, respectively. For those of you guys who do not know, Olivia Holt is a Disney Channel actress. She's known for the TV shows Kickin' It and I Didn't Do It. And she's also been on she already has a little bit of experience with the Marvel Universe, because she voiced Spider-Girl in the Spider-Verse story arc of Disney XD's Ultimate Spider-Man animated series. But she will play Dagger, and it's the article gives a little bit of bio on Dagger, as it's Tandy Bowen, who she enjoys a privileged upbringing until her family is destroyed by a disastrous storm. And in the comics, it talks about her powers in the comics. Basically, the cool part with these characters is they're opposites in a lot of ways. There's the obvious race way of Tandy Bowen is white. I mean, you hear that name, Tandy Bowen. Come on, that's a white girl. And Tyrone Johnson, aka Cloak, is a black guy, but she has the powers of like it's like psionic daggers that are made of light, and she can use these daggers to drain away energy or even heal people. And then Cloak, who is, he's called Cloak because you see him, with this big billowing cloak that teleports people through dimensions and stuff like that. It's just it's a cool combo to have. And I, with Olivia Holt, I'm like, all right, I could see that. And with Aubrey Johnson or Aubrey Joseph, he's a very young actor. Not having a lot of stuff. His credits include Run All Night and The Night Of, where he played John Turturro's son. And yeah, so this will be. I'm interested in this. Here's what to pull out a quote from the article. Joe Pekaski, the showrunner of the show, said about the casting of Joseph and Holt. He said, "The characters of Tandy and Tyrone have always stood out to me ever since I first met them in the pages of Marvel Comics when I was a boy. When Olivia and Aubrey read for the roles, these characters leapt off the page. We're so excited to see what these talented young actors bring to the Marvel universe." And there have already been unconfirmed rumors that Gina Prince Byeswood will direct the pilot, which would be, pretty good, from what the article says as I continue reading it. But yeah, because she's done Love and Basketball, and she knows her way around romance. So yeah, this is interesting. Beat, how familiar are you with Cloak and Dagger?
I had no previous knowledge of that. I just saw the article, and it seems interesting. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. So. And I was wondering to what is most comparable that we know of, or is it so unique that you can't compare it to something we already know?
To a when you say comparable, like to other superheroes?
Yeah.
So Dagger, keeping it in the Marvel universe. Actually, I keep both of them in there. Dagger, she's similar to in powers a little bit to I'm blanking. Olivia Munn's character Psylocke, with the kinetic or not kinetic, like the telepathic daggers, or she had a sword. It's similar to that, where she knows a lot of karate, kung fu, martial arts stuff that way. And then the big thing with Cloak is you can almost compare him a little bit to Nightcrawler with his powers, because he can use his power, his control over the dark, to teleport
without the stinker.
Yeah. And so I mean it is an interesting casting choice. It's interesting that they're picking this show or these characters to begin with, because there's such dichotomy between the two. I mean, as individuals with their backgrounds and stuff, it's I now see why it fits being on Freeform, because of the young adult romance stuff that they're going to play between the two, between Cloak and Dagger. And it's cool. And also, the last time I saw them in comics, they were flipped, where Cloak was white and Dagger was, he had powers that were all like white light and stuff like that, and Dagger was all dark and used negative stuff. And I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, blackface in 2017.
No, it wasn't blackface. What it was is because if you've seen her, her outfit was black and his was white and all that, and where the dumbest way, the easiest way to say about their powers is she has power over light, he has power over darkness. Well, with this, and it was in Spider-Man because they were under the influence of Mr. Negative, and he flips your powers and all that, and basically flips your color scheme. So it's like, oh, here, all right, she's now she controls darkness. She still does her daggers and stuff, but she's all black. I'm like, wait, why is she wearing black? She usually wears white. All right, continue reading. Oh, that's why. But yeah, it was pretty cool. And I'm excited to see this. I mean, I think it's pretty good casting for both parts.
Okay.
All right, and the final bit of news is Square Enix announces a Marvel Avengers game. Or Square Enix and Marvel announced an Avengers game. This came out last week, and I also heard that Eidos Montreal is working on a Guardians of the Galaxy game as well. But Square Enix and Marvel announced a multi-game partnership beginning with an Avengers game. There's not really a lot known about this, but I will say that I have to pick on my boss because he was wanting to say that it's that they should do a remake of Marvel Avenger or Ultimate Alliance, and I'm like, no, look at what the studios that they've got have made. It's probably going to be something closer to that than that game that, oh yeah, it got a sequel but still didn't do enough success to be a continuing franchise for Marvel properties.
It kind of makes sense with Square Enix because with Final Fantasy they are used to making movies with combined with grinding, and I can see the relationship going in a certain direction. And even Tomb Raider and other games had cinematic touch, so why not?
No, yeah, whatever the game will be, I'm pretty sure it's going to be freaking awesome. Because they got Crystal Dynamic, who's the developer from the Tomb Raider reboot, and Eidos Montreal, who did the Deus Ex series. Two great companies. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna wait to reassemble here, as they've been using the hashtag all over social media, and I don't know. I cannot wait. I want this. I want this now, but I don't want it to suck, so I will wait patiently.
Yeah, we had some terrible experiences with X-Men games and other things. Yes. And then again, there were some good things like Universe Online and free-to-play games that they diligently made better and better and better. And I know a lot of people that spend a lot of time with just the MMOs.
So, yeah,
it's going to be interesting if they go that route with a lot of in-app purchases and microtransactions, or are they going to deliver $60 game and be done with?
I think it's a $60 game, to be honest, because
or both.
I don't see them making this big of a deal with even going as far as to say it'll be developed by Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal, for the first game. Let's not forget here that this is multi games. So, and actually, wait, hold on. I don't think Eidos Montreal is doing the Avengers game. I think the original announcement was they're going to be doing a game as well. But the Avengers project is being done by Crystal Dynamics, and the the Eidos Montreal is doing it as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I heard, I just seen it while I was flipping through work that they're going to be doing a Guardians of the Galaxy video game, which
Look, it could be much worse, like Konami, EA, or Ubisoft. So we're happy that's in somebody else's hands. But Square Enix also had some trouble, some deliveries of Final Fantasy Evolution and other things that were stale. But again, I'm hopeful on this one.
yes. Well, that is it for the news, and we will be right back. And we are back, and it is time for the ElseViews. This is the section of the show where we talk about the movies, TV shows, games, music, basically anything we want to go in depth on. And we have both picked TV shows this week. So, Beat, you want to do yours?
Of course, I can do that with the page as soon as it loads. I heard of the show a while ago. It's called The Get Down, and it had an interesting premise that it was kind of like a documentary with very fictionalized content, because it crosses over often an era and goes into the future at some moments, back and forth, and that means that you get a story told by somebody out of his memory, but then again you have all the things you see. I wasn't aware of New York, what happened in this time, and it was very inviting into a world I couldn't usually visit because I'm here in Switzerland. I don't get to visit New York back in these days, but I felt like transported in that era, and there were some crazy good music, and it's about the Grandmaster Flash and people that try to get to him as like a sensei and scholar relationship, so that they want to know how to get to the get down and know how to do a break and make so your own music out of a sample from an existing work. And nowadays that's very difficult to do. Back in the days when Run DMC and De La Soul did it, and Beastie Boys, that was crazy. And today's you couldn't pay or afford that as an artist. And just showing how that came to be is an interesting part. But then they picked great actors. All of them were very likable. You believe what they portrayed. If it was just being the church girl that wants to come out and be the great girl and show business, or you got the typical Puerto Rican or Latino guy, the immigrant that wants to make it also from the slums into the bigger place. And altogether, it works like a well-organized concept album, but just visually. And I had to hesitate because Jaden Smith is on the crew, and when you know him from Hollywood Babylon and other places, that what he's doing in his spare time, well, it's up to him, but I was a little hesitant. And I have to say,
you know him on Twitter as being such a millennial with a lot of the things he says.
He and his sister are from another planet or another system entirely. But then he put it all out there, and have to give huge props for what he did. Like Lady Gaga did on American Horror Story. You didn't expect anything, and then they deliver. I skipped After Earth, so I wasn't worked on that experience. But really,
you and everyone else.
But if you're into like period pieces that have a little bit a modern touch, if you're into the music of the era, if hip hop or disco or funk, or if you're just into a good entertaining show that has an arc that is captivating, and everything else about it is great, I just can't recommend it enough. And it's only like 6 episodes, as we call it. Just a second. It's short, so you get the whole thing. And also the soundtrack is great. You should see it, get it. We have the link to it to the Amazon store. And yeah, there were 6 episodes. I was right.
Yeah,
so
6
it isn't,
episodes per part 1.
and around an hour each, so you don't waste much time. And if you're hooked, then you will go through it like through 2 days max.
Nice. All right, that is the Get Down. My choice, if you're watching the video, you saw the little clip of it because it airs internationally on Netflix, and that is Riverdale. This airs here in America on Fridays Thursdays. And this is it's a Greg Berlanti production. So, I mean, add another show that he's doing. But this follows the Archie gang, from Archie Comics, going through, in this new reimagined world. I went into this optimistic. And I will say right now, I do enjoy the show. There's a big part of me that wishes it wasn't an Archie branded TV show, because did you see Riverdale?
Nope. And I didn't read the comics neither.
Well, the comics, I mean, they're, here, I don't know how it is over in Switzerland, but here the classic Archies are is digest, and you can get them at a grocery store checkout lane. It's this, I think, what brought the show into the forefront, getting fast tracked to getting made, is the fact that, we had the reboots of the comics with Mark Waid writing Archie, Chip Zdarsky, and then the book getting taken over by Ryan North writing Jughead. Excuse me. Jughead. And, so that brought new interesting things, a new perspective into Archie. With Riverdale, though, it's a darker take. I mean, the show is, and I have some little other nitpicks, but the big thing that I have is like it's dark, and I wasn't really expecting it.
Is it dark for CW, or is it dark?
It's dark for it fits in with CW because of, they have the shows like Vampire Diaries and Supernatural, where they can get darker, but you go from from the classic Archie, the bumbling buffoon at times, Archie Andrews, to holy crap, Archie got hot by one of the characters in there. They definitely CW-ified some of the things, which was fine. It was cool. Yeah, there's one thing, or the one big thing that I have that's a problem with it is, and it's actually on they talk about it on the Facebook page for Riverdale. And it's one of the people, they said it, and I'm like, that's what I had too. And they said that they love the pilot. Their only complaint is between Archie and Miss Grundy, because over the summer they have this tryst, this affair that becomes quickly taboo in the pilot, and it's like, and they're doing this setup where, oh well, you won't tell anyone, will you, Archie? No, it's been our secret, sort of thing. And it's like, did that need to happen? Did that need to be a thing? And all that. I like the acting, the actors. It's some great choices for actors in here. The show, you're basically, the perspective is told through Jughead and his point of view. But he's even then him, he's a different Jughead. It's not the well, give me a cheeseburger, I'll do anything for a cheeseburger type person. I want to say the easiest way to describe Riverdale is this is emo Archie in a lot of ways. And I mean, I still like the show. It's just I wasn't 100% sold on a murder mystery Archie, but I'm liking the acting. I'm liking the characters in here enough to where it's like, all right, I'm going to get on board anyways. Because, I know they've had, Archie versus Predator, Archie, they've had different Archie books that were not typical Archie, but yet they did their thing. But yeah, so that airs Thursdays at 8 or 9 on the CW. I forget. It's on Thursdays, and you can catch it, later. Or if you're around the world, watch it on Netflix on Fridays. So that is Nerding Out. Or sorry, the ElseViews. And we will be right back. And we are back, and it is time for ElseWords. This is our main topic for point, and partially because I tried really hard to get a special guest host on here. But he said no. And, well, he's British, so he said it more politely. I believe he called me something called a wanker. No, I'm joking. Daryl, I'm joking. I know you didn't say anything of those things. But this is the news that Peter Capaldi has... Huh?
Was that a Grand Tour spoiler? What's the insider for the ones that follow the show?
Yes. He called me a Jeremy Clarkson. But no, so this is the confirmation that Peter Capaldi has confirmed that series 10/season 10 of Doctor Who will be his last. So basically we have until Christmas for Peter Capaldi. And he confirmed this with Joe Wiley's BBC Two radio program, which for the video viewers, that's the lady that you're seeing right there. And he said, went down too far. One of the greatest privileges of being Doctor Who is to see the world at its best, Capaldi stated. From our brilliant crew and creative team working. God, this would be so much better if I could do a Scottish accent. From our brilliant crew and creative team working for the best broadcaster on the planet, to the viewers and fans whose endless creativity, generosity, and inclusiveness points to a brighter future ahead. I can't thank everyone enough. It's been cosmic. So this is where it is bittersweet, this news. And actually, before I get into this, let's play Daryl Johnson, the host of Who Knew and Review, his response to us.
Hello, ElseNerds. It's Daryl here from the
Hi,
Who
Daryl.
Knew and Review podcast. Now, yesterday or the day before, you saw the news. Peter Capaldi's leaving. And you asked me if I could come onto the show. Well, as you know, I'm a very busy man. And so the answer was no. But I can give you the benefit of a little bit of what I think is going to happen. I don't think we are going to get a female doctor. So I think you can put those ideas out of your mind straight away. Also, a few names have been bandied around. We've got that chap who played Q. We've got the bloke that plays the Martian Manhunter. And we've got Moz from the IT crowd. Do I think any of those are in for the esteemed position as the Doctor? No, I don't. So who are we looking for? I think we're going to go down the same sort of route as Matt Smith. An up-and-coming actor. Someone who is youthful. And I say youthful, I mean 30. So youthful to me. I think they're going to be quirky. I think they're going to be able to captivate an audience. And I don't think it's going to be anyone that the bookmakers have on their list. So there's my views. But of course, I'm keen to hear yours. What is it you want from the Doctor? Who do you think could possibly fill that void? Are we going to stick to purely a British actor? Or maybe are we going to look, well, over the Atlantic to one of your talented sorts? Please let me know. I'd be keen to find out, and I'll be researching and having a close look at this in the next episode of Who Knew and Review. Anyway, toodles.
Yeah, so that's mainly why I wanted to bring Daryl on, because of this story right here. And I want to thank him for, providing that feedback. I agree a lot with a lot of what he said on there. I mean, Daryl knows his stuff. And so, I mean, who would you see that could possibly play, who could possibly take over and be the next Doctor?
That's a tough one. As he said, a fresh face would be most befittingly, and there's some people around that could fit the bill. The thing about taking somebody from over the pond strikes me with irony, because most American roles are being stolen by British actors, and the BBC likes to get American people for their British shows, like Joy, and now maybe a new Doctor Who coming from over there. So it would be mind-blowing, but never say never, because it's a huge population that they could reach with that. I don't know how many Americans are open to Doctor Who because of their English mannerisms, and how many would prefer having one of their own in the role.
Yeah,
but I mean, I'd read that.
I'm gonna do baby steps here, because I mean, we just got a actual Scottish Doctor, not David Tennant's. He's Scottish, but we're gonna have him do an English accent. Doctor, and I was actually talking about this when the news broke on Monday, with some of my friends from work, because I was talking about how Doctor Who, it is a life-changing role. I mean, you look at Matt Smith, you look at David Tennant even. I mean, David Tennant before then in England, yes, he was a known actor. But after, he's a worldwide star. He's in the Harry Potter movies. He's voicing Scrooge McDuck, for fuck's sake. And it's one of these things that, he's in Marvel TV shows, with being the Purple Man on Jessica Jones. And it's one of these things, like, Doctor Who for a lot of the people is a stepping stone, but not in like it eventually gets beneath them. It's love it so much. Yeah.
That's
a new thing. Ecclestone was smart enough to bail out as soon as he could, and he delivered a good role, but it was a role, and Tennant was much more into it, and Matt Smith as well, after getting into it. Yeah, I agree. It is maybe another Scotsman would be Ewan McGregor. When he doesn't do much more movie things, maybe he could jump in there, because he has the eyes, he has the expression, the charisma. Maybe he could deliver something like that. It doesn't have to be a 20-something.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor would be a pretty cool choice. The hearing it, and still even hearing it now, but Daryl said that Richard Ayoade, who plays Masa from the IT Crowd, was up there. I'm like, wait, really? Like that threw me. Like that would be like trust me, I would love to see it, but at the same time, it's like I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it happening, just because it doesn't seem like it's out of either person's either side's range, but it just seemed like a weird choice to go Richard Iwadi. But I want to point out something else, that this is not only Peter Capaldi's final season, this is Stephen Moffat's final season. So
it's like riddance.
I mean, a lot of people do get that way, but at the same time, I'm it's one of these, like, he loved what he's doing, and he loves what he's doing, and he's he made the decision to leave, and so this I see this as, let's give I'm blanking on his name, it's Chris, the new showrunner,
Chibnall.
Yeah, Chibnall, that's it.
From Broadchurch.
Yeah, let's give him essentially a clean slate in here, and and keep it to where the new companion with Billy is the carryover and all that. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing to happen, but at the same time, I'm not sad about it. It's because I know, we have enough of the Doctors alive that, 60th anniversary coming up in like 5 years or something, we could get another Doctor Who adventure with David Tennant, Matt Smith, like another 4 Doctors, where we get Tennant, Smith, Capaldi, and then the new Doctor, and hilarity will ensue.
The thing is, Doctor Who was very beloved up to the Tom Baker times, but then it fell flat and it went away for a while, and they tried with a movie that was something. Yeah, it was a movie, and it took a re-envisioning of the whole character. They kept the old canon, so at least they did that, but some things had to be dropped from the movie and other things, so it made sense. The problem right now is really hard to find something that wasn't there before, and you see the Moffat, his handwriting in it. So yes, bring on the new. And would you keep canon, or would you break with canon if you were at the helm?
If I was showrunner, I would keep canon. Because I mean, it's one of those things that the easy answer would be break canon, but at the same time, you do, if you were to break canon, then it doesn't really episode that features a Cyberman or a Zygon or a Dalek or any of these other monsters. They're going to look at it like, oh, you're just doing a story. I almost said a Sherlock episode, but you're just doing Wrath of the Cyberman. You're just rehashing old stories and stuff like that. It's like, well, we're not trying to, but shut up.
But there's just the thing. You have the 5-6 types of villains that you can pick from, and then some one-offs, and that can feel limiting to a creator. So not just because it's a cheap shot, meant really that, like, season 8 was which one was with Eccleston? When he came back, they had just came through the bullshit that is necessary and modernized it. So in that spirit, I would see a refreshing of the canon. Maybe let's put it that way, as a refreshment.
I mean, and that's what's going to happen is you're going to have with the writers, you're going to have a revitalization in there with the new showrunner for season 11. But also, I was trying to find the article, but there's a article about the episodes, and this is the first time. I believe the Digital Spy will have it. This is the first time that we will have a writer who wrote on both the old Doctor Who and the new Doctor Who. One of the episodes is being written by one of these writers, and I'm like, that's awesome. Like, this is a typical Stephen Moffat run joint now with this season or series, because he's writing a lot of them. He's doing the 2-part with Peter Harness, where they're doing they did. Sorry, hold on. Yeah, this is the article. But one of the writers, and I cannot think of who it is right now, wrote for. Oh wow, episode 10's written by Mark Gatiss. Sorry, this is what happens when this is what's called stalling. Rona Munro, who has penned episode 9, she's the first. She previously wrote 1989 Survival. So she'll be doing the episode The Eaters of Light. And yeah, a lot of these people, there's only one person in here who has not written for Doctor Who before. A lot of it is Stephen Moffat. Episode 1 is by Moffat. 6 and 7 is written by Stephen Moffat with Peter Harness, and then 11 and 12 is written by Stephen Moffat. So just under half of the episodes are written by him. But all the other people are great writers. I mean, Toby Whitehouse, the creator showrunner of Being Human, is writing an episode. A lot of these people that we have, I see this as being good. I don't see any of this as being like, okay, this season's gonna suck.
That was also not the impression I get from the whole story. It's opportunity is in the air, that they can break loose of some things that are getting stale with time, but still it's halfway a kids show, or was promoted as such, and I understand why and approve of it, but maybe something around that they could change, go a little bit edgier or whatever. Not that they have to get better, just saying change up the formula just a tiny bit, please.
Yeah, and I mean, you could honestly take a look at the class for that to get inspiration, because I mean, I've seen all but the final 2 episodes, I believe, but that's taking a property, taking Doctor Who, and going in such a different direction.
It's almost schlock, and I enjoy it very much. So
yeah, it's one of those where I'm like, I'm enjoying the show, and I've been enjoying the class. It's only because too much TV that I hadn't finished it, but it's it's great stuff. And so I could easily see I wouldn't be surprised if it later came out that Peter Capaldi said, yeah, I stepped back to give the creator of Broadchurch a clean slate, because you're gonna have better writing then.
He wasn't a bad Doctor, but he hasn't really had an arc. He didn't have an evolution like Tennant had or Matt Smith. So I understand also maybe his ambitions are a little bit higher than just staying there and doing the same. Yeah. But he did well. I'm not mocking it. At times I was a little frustrated because of what he had to deliver, but this wasn't his fault. It was Moffat's. work.
Yeah.
And he freshed it up, and yeah, farewell.
No, yeah. So if you want to leave us a message like Daryl did, you can contact us by leaving us a voicemail at 805-328-3966, or you can email us mail@elsenerds.com. I read all that. I listen to all that. So give me work. You could find our subscription options and links over at Galactic Netcast or gncast.com/subscribe. You could find our Facebook page over at facebook.com/Galactic Netcasts. The show is on Twitter at ElseNerds. Which may or may not have posted a David Tennant video this week. Things I do when I'm bored at work. Or you can follow the network at Galactic Netcasts. Corey, you can find his stuff at Don't Ask Comics. Evan is at Mr_Fusion. I can be found at that Gregor. Corey.
I'm at Beatmaster80. You can follow me at Beatmaster80.
All right, and the only thing that's left to be said is this has been a Don't Tell Glenn production. We'll see you next week.
Or else.
We will get Tom Merritt.
Hell yeah. Tom Merritt.